He said, well, you can miss a week and just come back. So we did 3 before.
Born on March 5th, 1958 in Detroit, Michigan, Marvin Lawrence Winans stands as one of the most influential figures in gospel music and Christian ministry. Known for his soulful voice, deep spirituality, and compassion, Marvin dedicated his life to sharing faith through song and service. As a member of the renowned Winans family, he carried on a legacy rooted in faith, music, and perseverance. From his early days singing in church to founding one of Detroit's most vibrant ministries, Marvin's journey reflects resilience, love, and purpose. A story of a man who turned faith into a lifelong mission to uplift others through worship and hope. A gospel heritage rooted in family faith, Marvin Winans was born into a home where gospel music was more than entertainment. It was a way of life. His parents, David Pop Winans and Dolores Mom Winans, were gospel singers who filled their home with hymns of praise and worship. The Winans children, including Marvin and his brothers Carvin, Michael, and Ronald, grew up surrounded by music and faith. This spiritual environment nurtured their musical talents and instilled in them a deep commitment to serving God through song. From family gatherings filled with harmonies to church performances that inspired congregations, the Winans household became a sacred space where worship met artistry, shaping Marvin's path toward a career dedicated to spreading the gospel through melody and message. The birth of the Winans and a new sound in gospel. In the late 1970s, Marvin and his brothers officially formed the Winans, a group that would revolutionize gospel music. Their goal was to bring the message of faith to modern audiences without losing its spiritual essence. Mixing traditional gospel harmonies with smooth R&B and contemporary Christian influences, the Winans created a sound that resonated with people across generations. Their performances at local churches soon turned into national acclaim, as listeners were drawn to their heartfelt lyrics and powerful vocal unity. Marvin's smooth tenor and heartfelt delivery became central to the group's identity, helping to bridge the gap between church tradition and modern soul. This new approach didn't just entertain, it inspired, showing that gospel music could evolve while staying true to its sacred roots. Rising fame and Grammy-winning success. The 1980s marked a defining era for the Winans. Their breakthrough album, Let My People Go, brought them mainstream attention and earned them a Grammy Award for Best Soul Gospel Performance. Songs like Choose Ye and The Question Is combined socially conscious lyrics with uplifting melodies, blending spiritual devotion with calls for freedom and hope. Marvin's ability to express emotion through his voice added depth and sincerity to every track. As the group gained recognition, they continued to push creative boundaries while keeping Christ at the center of their music. Their performances became known not just for musical excellence but also for their spiritual intensity, touching both devout churchgoers and casual listeners alike with their message of faith and redemption. The Return album and deeper musical maturity. By 1990, the Winans released Return, an album that marked both artistic and spiritual growth. Featuring collaborations like Ain't No Need to Worry with Anita Baker, the record showcased the group's polished production and lyrical maturity. The song's message, to trust in God through hard times, became a beacon of hope for listeners facing personal struggles. Marvin's soulful delivery and emotional honesty made the lyrics deeply relatable, elevating the group's reputation as pioneers of inspirational gospel. Return earned them another Grammy and further cemented their influence beyond the walls of the church. The Winans had proven that gospel music could speak to real-life issues, pain, doubt, and perseverance, while pointing listeners toward healing and faith. From musician to minister, founding, perfecting church. Despite his musical success, Marvin felt a growing spiritual calling beyond the stage. In 1989, he founded Perfecting Church in his hometown of Detroit, transitioning from gospel singer to full-time pastor. What began as a small congregation soon blossomed into one of the city's most dynamic ministries. Marvin envisioned the church as a place of renewal, where faith was not only preached but practiced through community outreach and worship. Under his leadership, Perfecting Church became known for its vibrant services, live gospel performances, and compassionate programs that supported those in need. Marvin's musical roots enriched his sermons, blending melody with message and transforming worship into an immersive experience of praise, reflection, and hope. A ministry built on service and compassion. Marvin's vision for perfecting church extended far beyond the pulpit. He believed that the true essence of ministry was serving others, especially the vulnerable. The church became a hub of community outreach, organizing food drives, job assistance programs, and youth mentorship initiatives. Marvin saw the church as both a sanctuary for the soul and a lifeline for those struggling in everyday life. His leadership inspired thousands to live out their faith through action, emphasizing that worship must go hand in hand with compassion. Through his ministry, Marvin turned his church into a symbol of healing and hope for Detroit, helping bridge the gap between spirituality and social responsibility in a city facing economic and social challenges. Guiding the next generation of gospel artists, Marvin Winans used his platform to mentor young gospel singers and musicians, encouraging them to remain authentic in both their artistry and faith. He reminded aspiring artists that gospel music was more than entertainment. It was ministry through melody. His teachings emphasize purpose over popularity, urging others to let their faith lead their craft. Many of today's gospel performers credit Marvin for shaping their spiritual and creative journeys. By mentoring young talent, he ensured that the next generation would continue to spread messages of hope and salvation through music. His guidance helped artists navigate the delicate balance between career ambition and divine calling, proving that true success comes from staying faithful to one's mission. Tragedy and faith, the loss of his brother Ronald. In 2005, Marvin faced a heartbreaking loss when his brother and fellow group member, Ronald Winans, passed away at age 48 due to heart disease. Ronald was not only a musical partner, but also Marvin's confidant and friend. The loss deeply affected him, shaking the very foundation of his faith. Yet, rather than letting grief consume him, Marvin turned to God for strength. Through sermons and song, he began to speak openly about loss, healing, and eternal hope. His music during this period reflected a deeper emotional tone, an acknowledgement of pain intertwined with unwavering faith. By sharing his vulnerability, Marvin gave comfort to others dealing with grief, showing how even in sorrow, faith remains a powerful source of endurance and peace. Faith tested. The 2012 carjacking incident. In 2012, Marvin's faith was once again tested when he was attacked and carjacked in Detroit. The incident left him bruised and shaken, but instead of harboring anger or resentment, he chose forgiveness. Publicly, he prayed for his attackers and emphasized the importance of compassion over revenge. His response demonstrated true Christian strength, living out the same forgiveness he had always preached. The event also brought attention to Detroit's struggles with violence and poverty, issues Marvin continued to address through his church's outreach. By turning personal pain into purpose, he became an even stronger advocate for peace and healing in his community, proving that faith is most powerful when practiced under pressure. A legacy of faith, music, and service. Marvin Winans' journey from a gospel-singing child to a globally respected pastor reflects the transformative power of faith. He has touched millions through his songs, sermons, and acts of kindness, leaving a lasting impact on both the gospel industry and the city of Detroit. Whether leading worship, mentoring artists, or comforting the brokenhearted, Marvin continues to embody his life's mission, to serve God by serving others. His legacy stands as a testament to resilience, forgiveness, and unwavering belief in the redemptive power of grace. Through every trial and triumph, Marvin Winans remains a shining example of how faith can guide, heal, and inspire across generations.